Hello and welcome to the CSF3103 lab series. In this lab, this is lab 4. In this lab 4, we're going to talk about Squert. So what is Squert? Squert is a web interface that gives you access to the SQL database from your web browser. So let me explain what that is and then we will continue. Okay, so here, this is your web browser. So it's your web browser, and say this is your SQL database. Okay, so this is the SQL database. So whatever that's inside the SQL database, you can have access to it through your web browser using Squert. Right? So Squert is the interface that gives you access to the SQL database. So if you remember from the previous lab 3, we talked about SQL. So pretty much now Squert also will give you pretty much the same information if you are playing the same PK file. So the second thing on this lab, what we are going to do, we will first, there is a PK file located here. /opt / again sample. So there's the samples. So if you remember in the previous lab we did example.com 04, right, and 03. But in this lab here, we're going to work with this PK file, which is called bread do lab.pk file. bread-do-lab.pk file. So we are going to copy this one from this location, here to this location, which is we have it on our ACT home directory, right? So that's home. We're going to copy it here, home ACT / P dash files. We're going to copy it to this folder. So we're going to copy this file from here to this folder, and then we're going to use the TCP replay to play it. Right? So let's do that, and then we're going to access the Squert interface. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the terminal emulator. Just want to make sure that I am in the home directory of the ACT right there. So if I do ls, I should see the pcap files directory from the previous lab. So now I'm going to copy the file from examples directory to this directory, cp opt samples, and then this one here. All right, bread-do-lab -sample.pcap. Okay, so this is the one we're going to copy to this directory, which is ACT home directory. There is a directory called file pcap file, pcap-files. Right, enter. Now again, if we do ls, pcap files, I should see the file that which is I just copied, which is bread olab sample.pcap. This one here. Right, so now the file has been copied. The next thing that I will do, I will access, I will try to log into Squert. It's here. You can just right click and execute, or double click on it. So here, if you get the SSL warning message here, what you need to do is you have to click on advanced. So just to bypass this. Right, so let me just have this. Right, advanced, and then you say proceed to localhost, even though it's unsafe, but click on it. And here, to log into Squert, you have to use the Squeal username and password that we have specified during the security onion setup, right? So it's the same. So Squert and Squeal, they have the same username and password, which is HCT, and let me in the password. I'm going to log in. Now here you see there is no result. Okay, so because there is no traffic that has been generated so far. What we can do now, I can go back to the terminal here, and I can run the PCAP, replay the PCAP file. All right, so I have to be an administrator again. Let me have this, extend this a little bit. Oh, large. All right, so sudo TCP replay -I, that's the interface, -t, and then I can give the path, okay, home for the PCAP file, home HCT PCAP files, and then it's this file here. All right, bread olab sample dot pcap. Right, so I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to enter the password. Let me in. And now the traffic has been generated. If I minimize this and I go back to Squert, you see here this exclamation mark, right? So that's me. There is a we need to refresh it manually, right? So I click here, and then you see I see these traffic here, these alerts. There are IDS alerts, right? So all right, so if we follow now the lab, we should see the traffic or the alert that they're asking us to investigate. So let me go back here to the lab. Okay, they have the lab open here. So we have done all these here, and now they're asking about this event here. Okay, T-Trojan tips Harnick downloader activity. So let's go there. Maximize this. So this is the one they are asking us to investigate. So if you have noticed here, this is 4. Says 4, right? Then this number here. But if I go to the lab, here it says 12. So that the reason is you might get it 4, you might get it different, because the PCAP file has been run multiple times. Maybe here, that's why it shows 12, right? This 12 here. And in your case, it might show 4, it might show different. But the most important thing is you have to look at the alert message, right? Name that is that you need to investigate. So if I go back here now, so ET Trojan tips Harnett downloader activity. If I click here on this number, then it will give me more information here, and then I can go even further by doing this, and then it shows me these messages here. All right, you see here each event here, it has its own event ID, right? It has its own event ID. So here, this is the information about the signature, and it gives you about the alert types, the versions, the reference, and all this here. All right. So go back here to the lab. These are the questions that you need to answer related to that event. All right. And then you have the questions at the end of the lab, right? They're concentrating about these here, about the summary tab and the views tab, these two tabs here. So you need to navigate on these two tabs. You can search about them and provide your answers. So these are the, so this is the summary tab. You see here, you can just navigate, read about it, what it type of information that it gives you. And here also the view tab, you compare between these two and answer, all right? And answer these two questions. I think that's it about this lab. I hope this has been informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.